Some national breaking news just into our newsroom. Former President Donald Trump has been indicted on 4 counts tied to his efforts to undermine the 2020 election, including conspiracy to defraud the United States. Now, the indictment follows a long-running federal investigation into schemes by Mr. Trump and his allies to subvert the peaceful transfer of power, culminating in the January 6th insurrection. Now, this case was brought against Trump as he seeks to reclaim the White House in 2024. Despite his legal troubles, he's still the front runner in the GOP presidential race.
There is definitely a lot of news going on today. We are working to update our website to reflect all of this new information, and be sure to check your HNN mobile app for the very latest. For now, let's go ahead and give you a look at some other top stories around Hawaii.